The ending for me was what really drew me in, was the fact that you have absolutely no idea what happens to this character of Christian. Well, in my first reading, I could tell that Christian's very ambitious, confident yet likable. His confidence exudes, and people are able to feel very comfortable around him. And I suppose that's what people are drawn to, is the sense that you felt like you are appreciated, and that you're treated as someone that is deserved of some type of, I suppose, time. The rehearsal process with Sue and Albert and Ollie was a very valuable time we had together. I was able to understand the dynamics of the relationship with my mother and father, and because there was no backstory, Oliver supplied that. He gave us impetus to work with, and he gave us some kind of relationship on which to build by giving us his idea of what he saw as the character and the characters' relationships to each other. With every scene, Ollie had this wonderful way of making you come in with a different motivation, or a different tactic, or a different understanding of how you saw this scene, or what you entailed the scene to be about. He was able to tweak it here and there, and also have the confidence in you as an actor to make those changes and bring those changes to the scene. The fact that he made it a challenge, in that even though there were subtle changes he asked you to bring to each scene, the fact that he made you feel like you accomplished that. Besides that, there's a lot of fun. There's a lot of he's very laissez-faire on set. He's got a very relaxed attitude, but at the same time you can see his mind is always working. There's always something there going on. He's constantly thinking, constantly at work in his head, and that's a good thing, because you can see that he never takes what is on paper, what is on script, and expects you to deliver it on a very superficial level. He brings layers and layers and layers, and he makes you go deeper and deeper into it. The crux of the emotional undertone of the story is definitely told from Francois' perspective, and what is seen through each character's eyes, in terms of how they see Francois, is a very superficial level, where you as an audience sees the kind of the turmoil and the tornado of emotional distress that goes on in his head, and there's a lot of mental and emotional conflict that goes on there. It does point to a violent undertone that sort of blankets our society. It points to a lot of the aggressive psyche, the violent and kind of disastrous way in which a lot of South Africans, based on what has been, I suppose, a suppression by a former apartheid government, to the need to let it get revenge, or stand up for your rights as a human being, and it certainly does give some kind of indication as to what are very real issues. Although they are hidden and they're swept under the carpet, it's the story that is told is very relevant and very real, as I said, across all societies in this country. Whatever paradigms or understandings or perspectives people have on certain members of society, especially the Afrikaans community, from a certain generation, those paradigms can be blown out the water, and it allows you to see a very real story that people wouldn't possibly want to see because they've got either blinkers on, or they are naive, or they're closed-minded, and the story just makes you see another side, makes you see assist that generation in that context with fresh eyes. It's going to cause a lot of controversy, I think. A lot of people are going to be upset about it. It's going to challenge people's understandings of what it means to be an Afrikaans male, especially within the context of Francois' story, and where he comes from, and his lifestyle behind closed doors. And that's what makes this story so interesting, so beautifully haunting, is the fact that you're left with the unknown, and you've got to make your own ideas and your own understandings of what it means, what it's trying to say.
Ons moet iets aan hy swembad doen, Frans, wat is nou al vir weke lank groen.
Ja, ek sal dit doen.
Chris, your mother says that you've been doing a lot of modelling these days.
It's mostly international adverts. But law is what I really want to do.
Hoor jy sal my nou nie glo nie, maar ek is in Kaapstad. Ja, ek het 'n paar besigheidsafsprake.
Wat was jy Saterdag hier?
Hoekom?
Ja, ons gaan braai.
Okay, I'll come.